Hello urban farmers, today is harvest day, so let's see what we're gonna get. I'll get back. So this is what we got out of the pepper box. Let's move on. So something's gone wrong in the big scheme of things, and I have a cucumber that's grown through the chicken wire. That's not good, but let's see what we can do. I ended up having to split this one in half to get it out of the chicken wire. It still smells like a cucumber though, so let's see if we can do something with it tonight. All right, so today's harvest, we got 5 cucumbers, 5 green bell peppers, a big pile of jalapenos in different stage of ripening, a lofty 2 cherry tomatoes, and 5 banana peppers. All in all, it's a pretty good food supplementation, I would think. So having chickens in your yard is pretty awesome, but Mom and Dad, Regenerative Urban Farmer, came in this last weekend and we left them out unattended for a couple of hours, and they completely dug out the snap peas they're so fond of. So fortunately I have some other stuff to plant here, so let's get to getting this leveled out, and I'll mourn the loss of my soil microbiome later. Alright, so we got those chicken holes filled in and we have new stuff planted there, ready to go. Let me show you something I have going on. So my lawnmower has a collection bag, and I've been keeping, this is the cuttings from the last time I mowed the backyard, and I'm going to use this as a ground cover. I did that once before and it really helped a lot with moisture retention. Julie and Dato are having a good time. Hey girls. Hey. Is it a good day? As soon as the big chickens get put away, I'll let y'all come out to play. Alright, thank you for coming along with me on today's harvest session. And bear in mind, you know, that is not your whole year's worth of yield. This is every few days you come out here and you have some of something. I just wanted to show you, you know, what a typical yield on a small residential farm can be. It's if worse comes to worse, it's much better than nothing for sure. And you have a huge role in how your food is grown and handled. You don't have to worry about deceptive labeling practices and regulations and standards, country of origin, and how strictly they adhere to our guidelines, how strictly our own government adheres to them, which is not that strictly, really. Things like a USDA organic sticker, when you look into how lax those guidelines are, it would really shock you. So our goal here is to just, you know, we know exactly what's in our food, and that lets us sleep easier at night, and we enjoy our meals more, because not only did we raise this food ourselves, but we also know that it's, you know, pure and full of nutrients, which is what we all want and what we're all lacking these days. Take care. So I just realized that I neglected to elaborate on why I said that I use my lawn clippings as a ground cover in our crop beds. And by and large, what I would call the biggest problem facing humanity would be bare exposed agricultural soils. On an industrial level, this is a massive problem. When you fly through the farm belt and you see nothing but, you know, just barren, black, rich soil on a crop that's just been around a field that's just been plowed, that is so detrimental to soil health that it's shocking that it's widespread. And the big reason for that, in a lot of part, is, you know, the average farm is not family owned anymore. It's owned by a corporate entity, and the family that used to own it just runs it, manages it. And this corporate entity wants to see, you know, the farm fields they see in the movies, which is the black, rich, completely barren soil, not a single weed or a blade of grass. It's just miles and miles of rich black soil. And since a lot of the farmers that do plow their fields, they realize that they're doing a detrimental disservice to its health, but you know the people that pay the bills are demanding it be done. So what are they going to do? And so the issue is, and the reason we are so it's dependent upon fertilizer, you know, all the controversies and current events going around globally in Europe. There's a lot of talk about a fertilizer shortage, and a lot of farmers last year they weren't even able to get a crop in the ground, or they planted it without fertilizer and just hope for the best because it was largely unavailable, and what was available was extortionately expensive, to the point that these farmers, you know, they couldn't make their margin papers line up. It just, when you pay more to grow a good crop than you make for it, that's the point at which farming just doesn't make any sense for anyone trying to make a living doing it. So we're facing an issue right now. Once upon a time, a couple of years ago, a paper came out that said, you know, the earth has 60 harvests left before soil is depleted beyond the point of no return. Because as it stands right now, the soil is depleted. The agricultural soil is in an atrocious state, and that is why we're so reliant on artificial inputs, i.e., you know, fertilizers and pesticides and GMO seeds that, you know, they have it genetically bred to not need certain chemicals or nutrients for uptake, is much of a standard. And so 60 harvests until the soil is completely void of any nutrient content. That's not going to be a good day, and this current fertilizer shortage is probably amplifying that, because when that paper came out, this fertilizer shortage wasn't a thing yet, so it's likely they didn't factor that in. And so the regenerative agriculture incorporates cover cropping, which is, you know, ensuring that every square inch of your crop soil is covered in something, you know, not weeds. You have to draw the line between competition for resources and protection from, or insulation from, the atmosphere. So you want to know, if you have a deep root crop, then you'll want a shallow root cover crop. And if you have a shallow root crop, then you're going to want a deep root cover crop. And that helps share the load, so everybody's not at the same soil substrate level competing for the same resource base. And so on my little setup here, I lay down these ground clippings about an inch thick, and this helps. It's extremely hot in South Texas. So the ground cover serves so many purposes. It helps with insulation from the heat, water retention from evaporation, as well as offering kind of a buffer zone between the atmosphere and the soil to keep the soil nutrient rich and without any leaching out to the atmosphere. So that would be the reason for that, and I hope that helps you understand it better. Take care.